Hey, everybody, good evening. Good evening to you and to those who abide by the sunset to sunset principle. Happy New Year. I cannot believe that we're right here on the edge moving into 2022. And I want to say to God be the glory for keeping all of us this year. Please feel free to say hello in the chat. I am Lola Moore Johnston. I am pleased, privileged, and proud to be the senior pastor of the Restoration Praise Center. And I wanted to share a couple of items of information with you so that you could share them with people who need to know this information so that you be prepared for this weekend and the week to come. But I'm just so glad, so privileged, so proud to be here tonight. And I want to say to God be the glory. Good evening to you if you're coming in. We're just sharing a little bit of information on our upcoming week, upcoming year. Good evening, happy new year, and hello to you. So if you're part of our Restoration Praise Center family, you'll know that we were intending to be live and in person on tomorrow. However, due to the recent drastic spike in COVID-19 transmissions, due to the Omicron variant, we have chosen to, out of an abundance of caution, to revert to virtual worship. And so we will have worship during our Sabbath hours. Our Sabbath worship will be here on the Restoration Praise Center platforms. You'll notice that on tonight, we're also live on the Restoration Praise Center Facebook page. We're usually in the group, but we're on the page tonight. And so we are hoping that that allows us to get to even more of those who are part of our community. Happy New Year to you. We want to make sure that as many people as possible are getting information and are connected with our worship services. So because we will be virtual on tomorrow, we had also planned to have a virtual communion service. During this week, we've been opening up and trying to get those emblems to everyone. But as I saw the response and then was hearing some confusion as to how it was going to go and when the service was going to be, and then we recognized that we hadn't made provision for those who are sick and shut in at this time, we thought that it would be wise to push the communion back 1 week. So the first announcement is that communion will take place not on tonight, not on tomorrow. It will take place on next Sabbath. It will be a virtual communion, and we will show you the emblems and things that you need to have. We have emblems at the church for those who want to pick them up, but you're also able to make your own emblems, and we'll share some of that information with you as well. So that's number one. Our communion is virtual, and it will take place on next Sabbath during our Sabbath worship. We will lead you in having communion along with your family members. The second part of what we want to share with you is that we would be also, and let me make sure I, I have the announcements straight myself. We will be going into a time of prayer and fasting starting on Monday, the 3rd of January. We as a church family are coming together for a time of prayer and fasting. Listen, I don't know about you, and I don't know how things have been going for you, but it has been abundantly clear for me that we need the Lord like never before. And so what we are doing as a Restoration Praise Center family is we are inviting our community, those who are part of our church and those who are around our church. I know my own community, the Bloom community, will be joining us in a time of prayer and fasting for 21 days. We will come together for daily prayer. We will also be reading through a Bible app program together. That link is available to you. Let me get that link together now. And then we also are recommending that those who are part of this time of prayer and fasting assume a lifestyle where we're going to go away from sugar and processed foods. The plan that most closely subscribes to that methodology is the Daniel plan. And so we'll be doing that from the 3rd of January to the 23rd of January, spending our days together in prayer. We uh, previously went to a 6 a.m. prayer time, but we'll go to a noon prayer time. So from the 3rd of January at noon, we'll come together for a time of prayer. And then during that time of prayer, we will be talking about our prayer requests. We'll talk about the text for the day and be moving forward in that way. So I pray that you and your families are able to join us for that time of prayer. Join us for that time of fasting, not a full fast, but we're doing a restricted method of eating so that we can fully commit and fully give ourselves to this time together. And I'm attempting to link for you. Okay, so we've gotten the time of prayer and fasting. We've talked about our worship service moving to next week. And then also the fact that we're going to be virtual. And I want to say we're going to be virtual probably for a little while. We have already been in a place where we have been attempting to, out of an abundance of caution, to keep our church in a state of readiness. We have been using social distancing. We have a COVID-19 task force that has been helping us to ensure that we are aware of the regulations and aware of the current status of COVID-19, its variants, and all of that. And at this present time, because of the way that we have seen this virus move, because of the way that we have heard from the CDC, well, from the powers that be in our national scope, how quickly the virus is spreading here in Maryland, we are going to a state of readiness where we now be okay. We will now be virtual. So I'm sorry. Let me do this. I'm just wanting to send the information for the broadcast so that you can sign up for our Bible study for the 21 days. So I'm asking for our church to be in prayer. There are a number of people who are part of our community who are suffering with COVID-19 at this point. And if you know any of them, we're asking that you would show your prayers and your love. We're asking you to reach out to your fellow members to ensure that they're okay. You know, people who may not be connected with the online platforms, who may not be online, but who need to hear this information. And I'm asking you to help us to get this information out, help us to share this information with our community so that everyone will know how they can be part of what is happening here. Finally, in the next few moments, you'll see the population on our Restoration Praise Center Facebook group, as well as Restoration Praise Center YouTube. I see here that the link has populated for the Bible app program. You can sign up there to be part of that community. And then daily at noon, we'll be coming together to be part of this community, asking God for strength, for power, for revelation for this new year, so that we are all on the same page together. In the next few moments, about 15 minutes, finally, we will start our Just Pray initiative. It is where we as members of the Restoration Praise Center come together to pray. We are going to pray for our church, pray for our families, our health, and for our larger community. We're asking God to be first and foremost in our lives, and we're asking God for strength for the journey. And so, if you're a part of the Restoration Praise Center, you have an email that will show a Zoom link where you can be a part of that initiative. And we'll see also if we can make that available to you on Facebook, just in case we are able to do that. You'll see that tonight. I want to encourage you to be safe on this evening. I know that many traditionally on New Year's Eve will gather with others for parties or for outings and things like that with family and friends. But we have recognized that that is extremely dangerous at this time. So I'm praying that you would let wisdom guide you as you go about your time on tonight. And we look forward to seeing you first in our Just Pray initiative on tonight, and then tomorrow for our worship service. Thank you so much for being a part of this live. Happy New Year to you and your families. And again, we look forward to serving you as we follow Christ in the new year. God bless you and have a wonderful new year.